All right, Peyton. All right, Peyton versus New York. All right. So here is a very interesting scenario. Okay, again, you do not know about this because I just got these fresh off the presses. I just want to kind of read them. You ready for this? In Massachusetts, officers were inside a home investigating a domestic violence.
Okay.
They had their body cams on. So they do what they're going to do, and let's say they don't arrest anybody, okay? But they're inside the home for the domestic.
Okay.
Let's just assume like 2 months later, no, I'm sorry, not 2 months, 2 weeks later, investigators with another unit, let's say a gun team, right? They're surfing social media, and they see a known felon showing off his guns on social media.
Okay.
And in the background is distinct curtains. And they have intel that he is actually living at the house where the domestic occurred. You follow me so far?
Okay. Yeah.
And they want to get a warrant because they want to get a warrant for that gun.
Okay.
Now, here's what they do. They look at the body cam and they look to see if on the body cam were the curtains. Because if the curtains are in the body cam, then he was taking those selfies from that house.
Okay.
And there's your nexus.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 weeks. There's your probable cause probably for a warrant to go be right. So the officers got, of course, that's what it was, the house, right? The curtains proved that they were at the right that the person took the pictures from the right house.
So the curtains matched.
The curtains matched the drapes. So so they get the warrant, they find the gun, we're in court. Now the defendant is challenging what? He's saying you cannot look at the body cam. You can't review it for new evidence. What does your intuition say? You don't know this case, right?
Gosh.
Just so my audience.
I've heard something like this, and I don't remember the way the court went, but that's
What's my audience say?
It's a very interesting question. Because
Matthew says not allowed. Brooks says I disagree. He thinks it is allowed. What do you guys think?
So my first thought on it is, it's information we gathered lawfully present during investigation.
Let me tell you what they said. Yes, and the court found that being in the house and having the body cam on was not a search. That fell under plain view.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about this re-reviewing of the body?
That's going to be the kicker. So, but it's video that we possess, we house, we have access to, but to look at it again, to review. Now, the officer didn't attest. It was all through the body-worn camera review.
That's correct. Like the cop on scene didn't say, yeah, there was these pinstripe curtains.
So I guess it's going to come down to, did a search occur? Did it occur again there? And
answer the damn question.
I'm just trying to think through the logic of this here. It's something we possess. They don't have an expectation of privacy over a video that we took for them. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable saying yes for some reason, but I don't see how they protect that from what we lawfully already saw.
Okay. The Supreme Court of Massachusetts said in 2021 that this was a search under the Fourth Amendment.
Really?
They said that going into the home was lawful and that was not a search.
Okay.
However, they said, I'm not quoting, this is a summary, okay? They said that this is, by the way, this is Commonwealth versus Yusuf 488 Massachusetts. That's how they abbreviate it. 379, 2021. So again, Commonwealth versus YUSUF 2021. They said warrantless investigatory review of video footage from police officers' body-worn camera unrelated to domestic disturbance call in which footage was recorded in the defendant's home was subject to a separate constitutional analysis.
Like a Katz analysis?
Yep. From issue of whether this was a search under the Fourth Amendment. And here's the thing, my friend. Couldn't disagree more. I think Massachusetts got it wrong. So
because it's almost out of the bag.
It's
to me.
So let's it can't be right. It can't be right, because here's the deal, okay? If this is right, then I mean, first of all, we need bright line rules, and we need some sanity here. So how can the court say on one side of their mouth, hey, having this video footage is not a search, but looking at it again for a different reason is a search. I mean, can I give you an example?
Yeah.
I'm going to riddle you with a bunch of scenarios. Okay. You're in a home and you see property in plain view that you think to yourself, dude, that's stolen. That's stolen property. You have probable cause. You seize it. Okay. So then a detective for a homicide, he heard that you have this piece of evidence. It's a very unique jewelry box that has like the musical jewelry box and so forth, right? And he heard that you have this, and he has that musical box is tied into a murder that he's working. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. So he wants to take that out of evidence and look at it and take a picture and have his witness confirm whether or not that's the jewelry box involved in this murder case, right? Are we good?
Yeah.
Of course we are. So why isn't this the same thing? You know why it's not the same thing? Because it's Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a very liberal state, and they don't like stuff like that. They're worried about maybe, Big Brother type stuff. But the cops are lawfully present. So can I give you another example? Tell me if I'm wrong, okay?
I would love to.
Officers here, the supervisor is randomly reviewing body cam footage for impropriety, right? Now, not every agency can do that.
Checking up on his guys?
Yes. Now, many agencies can do that.
Can or can't?
Can.
Oh, just creeping, speeding,
just creeping. Okay.
Talking.
I don't think your agency can do that but that's because the union doesn't want it. Okay. Right. And they won that battle, but a lot of agencies can do it. So a sergeant is randomly reviewing video. Okay. And he watches the domestic and he sees that he's looking for basically rude and discourteous. Okay. Stuff like that. Right.
Okay.
But while he's in there
without a complaint, just looking to see.
Yeah, no, it's shocking to you, but that's not everybody's like your agency. Okay. This is not the most.
Gotcha.
This is kind of a common thing that supervisors are allowed to look at their videos to see if their officers are on the up and up and so forth. So while he's looking at this video for rude and discourteous and so forth, he sees something about another case that he was working, and he says, "Holy crap! That's a stolen property that was taken from a burglary case that took 2 weeks prior." Is that coming in?
I almost see it as it's almost as if that supervisor is standing on the scene himself, right?
I mean, but why can't he maybe not. Well, I mean, but why can't he why, just like you said, the video is in the possession of the police department. Yeah. What constitutional doctrine says that he cannot look at the very thing that the police possess?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. Okay. So this officer who asked me this question is in Indiana. Okay. And he's like, what do you think about this? I'm saying bullshit. Massachusetts. I can't, I understand in some degree what they're saying. Okay. I mean, I'm a rational person. I understand their concern, but I just don't understand. We have line drawing problems here. Okay. I mean, you can look at it for the IA. Would the court say, nah, union contract aside? No, you can't even look at it for IA issues.
Yeah.
You can only look for it to prove your original domestic. It doesn't make any sense.
It's too specific.
It's too specific. It's unwieldy. It doesn't have a constitutional footing. It's line drawing problems up the wazoo. We know that cops have looked at evidence under other issues. I'll give you an example. Maybe it's not similar, but we have a Supreme Court case called Edwards. I forget. It's a case involving a person who got arrested for breaking into a post office. It might be anyway. I'll remember Murray. It's Murray. So Murray breaks into a post office. His possessions are in the jail custody, and investigators come back to the jail. They get his possessions, and they look at him again, and they find chips from paint chips, and they actually this is 1970s, but they do a forensic analysis, and they prove that those chips came from the burglary when he broke into the place.
Okay.
I mean, to me, I guess it's like almost similar. Like, how are you? Well, no, it's the same crime, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're looking for the same crime.
No, it is the same crime.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like that. You step back, like society on this one, like society's like the cops got it.
Yeah,
it's their stuff. So
yeah.
Let
me see. I want to read some of these comments, and my eyesight's not as good as yours. So I believe, but hold on, Anthony, our prosecutor was okay. And this is by the way, this is our person who asked the question. He said our prosecutor was good with it. We just also had other means to verify our target address to double cover ourselves. But yeah, I mean, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I think that I would love, for a prosecutor to push this in another state. Like Massachusetts is not Indiana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not Texas. So
especially if you start running the analysis that we've been talking about. It's yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So Jonathan, yeah. So David says, I believe this ruling, it would be in his best interest at that point to stop the search. First of all, I'm sorry, it's not a search.
Not a search.
It's a view.
Yeah.
And apply for a warrant based on new discovery. Okay, fine. I mean, but it doesn't. You don't win that way. If you listen to Massachusetts,
yeah, you're not
going to fix it.
No, because
it's still unlawful.
Yeah,
you still have the fruit of the poisonous tree.
So watch away.
Right. So if you're saying go get a warrant, you're saying that you need a warrant, I guess. Exactly. All right. Look, it ain't going to work. All right. So. I think Matthew. I think that is something that the courts would consider in Massachusetts. I think that Matthew. I think that if not Matthew from Indiana, but I think that if the cop said we are just trying to confirm her injuries, we're just trying to articulate what words she used, they're not going to have a problem with that.
No, because as the court said, they're focused on the DV.
Okay, and so then. While you're listening to her exact words, he beat the shit out of me. I just want to get this right. You see the curtains and you realize that the curtains are part of another investigation you're working. Are we good there then?
Yes.
See the problem? Line drawn problems. Yeah. I was never a good artist, but I can't draw straight lines with this logic.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to teach it. Okay. It's cops can't work with something like that. What you got there? You see anything?
Dave said the initial intent was not to search for evidence. Well, it was, right? They looked at it again because well,
I think he might be talking about the original entry. Well, look, either way, you're looking for evidence.
Well, yes,
the domestic and the re-review.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was discovered in
actually re-review. That's not a right word. By the way.
Re-review.
Why don't you say review? Because
I think that encapsulates it.
You don't need to re-re.
Re-re?
You don't need to do re-re.
What show was that? Re-re.
There was a re.
What show was that from?
All right.